Oh, hey, hi, who are you?
So today's guest is somebody who's locally famous. He went to my high school and he was kind of one of those people that everyone knew and loved just because he's so nice and funny. He goes by Pharrell, also known as Jordie Burrell. So welcome to Hey Hi, Who Are You? The podcast about being creative in your everyday life.
How are you, love?
I'm good. I haven't talked to you in so long. This is so
I
nice.
know this is crazy. How have you been? You been doing well?
Yeah, I've been doing pretty okay. I mean, as good as everyone can be, I guess, right now.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
It's so funny seeing you with your TikTok background because, like, I'm so used to seeing you as, like, your characters on with that background.
This is just surprise. This is just my bedroom.
I was actually, I was talking to a friend that lives in Hamilton and he knew about you. Like, he
Oh,
totally,
what the heck?
yeah, I mentioned that you were coming on the podcast and he was like, oh, wait, like, is it like this guy? And showed me your TikTok. And I was like, yeah.
What the? I'm still getting used to this. Like it happens. Like it'll happen all the time on like Instagram when I'm like scrolling through people's stories, and then like someone that I just know through Instagram that like I don't even follow. Like they don't even follow me back. They'll have like one of my TikToks shared, and it's like this is weird. This
It's
is so
so weird. I
bizarre.
mean, you totally like deserve it. Like I feel like you were one of those people that everyone just like loved and loved to hang out with in high school and now we all just get to like hang out with you on TikTok. It's so
And
fun.
that's how I want it to be. Like I don't want
Yeah.
to feel like a celebrity. Like I just want to give people an inside look on my life and
Yeah.
see what I'm doing. And like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then you can keep scrolling. Are
It
you
like
excited to do this podcast?
I'm so excited. I mean, yeah, like you're my first guest, so like this is so random, but I figured even if I only do like 10 episodes, I mean, that's already a lot.
And I think you have a good personality for it, so you'll have some fun with it. And like worst case scenario, it's just something that you can look back and say, yeah, I did it and it was fun. Like that's what it's
Yeah.
all about. Like it doesn't need to turn into this Joe Rogan massive experience. You know what I mean?
But
Like
like it's going to. I'm kidding.
that's exact. No, it will. It will. It will. If you stay consistent, I don't see why not. Like,
It'll be really funny like my grandkids will watch this and your grandkids are going to watch your TikTok.
and they're gonna be like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And who is this lady that was out here TikTok or out here podcasting with random ass people that look way older than they are, like me? I don't know.
Well, I look way younger than I am, so we make a good pair.
I know you have everyone on TikTok confused. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I had like some weird comments where it was like, "Are you 12 or 30?" And I was like, "Well, somewhere in between."
Yeah, can I not be either, please? Yeah, I feel you. I get like 28, like 30. I get like mom, like my main fan base right now, other than people from Toronto, is moms for some reason,
That's
which is
so funny.
very strange. But yeah, hey, I'll take it. You
You have
gotta,
like do you have like cougars in your
yeah,
messages?
sugar mamas. Yeah, it's weird.
I think that's a good problem to have.
No, it is. It is. It is. I had a woman from Alberta, and she's like, yeah, I'll be your sugar mama. And I was, what? We
You're
don't
like
even live near each other.
you're like, "Can I move out to your ranch in Alberta?"
Let's talk about details
Yeah,
here.
you're
So,
like, "Where's the fine print? I want to know what's on
what
the
do I
table
have to
here."
do? Fingers crossed. She's just a sweetheart that just wants me to hang out with her
Yeah.
and doesn't want me to hang out with her kids. I don't know. That wouldn't be good. That's what we don't want.
She hires you to be like a sugar nanny,
Always.
a nanny with benefits.
Yeah, exactly. Watch my kids and I'll buy you a PS5. Okay, sounds good to me.
Okay. When did you like start just TikTok? Like was it literally just a joke and then you just kept going or what happened?
So yeah, it was definitely a joke. Like the first TikTok I ever made was probably like 2 years ago, and it got like no hype. And then I made like I was making like a not a 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. I got like no hype, like, and that's kind of what I was expecting. Like everyone's making TikToks, whatever. I'd just
Yeah.
do it. It was fun. And then I kind of gave it a rest for a bit, and then I came back, and I was like, I made this one video, and it was like a transition video of like me getting out of my work clothes and like dressing like a quote unquote Toronto man, which I didn't even like plan to have do anything, and it got like 11K views, and I was like, huh, like that's weird. Like this app thinks I'm a Toronto man, and people like that. So then I was honestly on my way to Toronto one day, and there was like a trend going on, and it was called "You Have to." It was like this weird sound, and he just said like you have to stop doing something, you have to blah blah blah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
just made like this Toronto man version, and we were driving to Toronto, and I like looked at my phone, and it was at 100K views in like 2 hours,
Oh
and
my
I was like,
God.
yeah, I was like, oh, what the, like my followers started rolling in, all this, so I was like, okay, like I can pretend to be a Toronto man, and kind of started running with the idea. And I never really expected to be making Toronto man content. Like I've been acting for so long that it was just like a character that I wanted to play.
Yeah.
But then TikTok, for whatever reason, the algorithm just ate it up. So I was like, okay, we'll just run with this for a bit. And then one thing turned to another, and here we are today. SK the Toronto man. As much as I don't want to be, that's me now.
It's like the Toronto people on lockdown were like hungry for Toronto man content because they don't get to see anyone anymore. So they were like, here we go.
Here he is, this kid that's not even from Toronto, and no one actually knows where I'm from, which is actually the best. And the idea, it's working and it's fun, and it's getting me in contact with the people that I want to be in contact with. So we're just gonna
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Do you kind
Exactly.
of have like a goal with it? Because like I know you've been actually like wanting to do acting for a while. Like have you gotten anything cool from this yet, or is that kind of
Um,
the goal?
that's kind of the goal. So essentially, like I want to like kind of brand myself at this point and everything I'm doing. So um, right now, I just know that acting's kind of like my natural ability. I know how to do it. So the
Yeah.
best thing I can do is just keep doing it. And that's how people can grow to know me. And if that's going to get me the attention I want to be an influencer or whatever you want to call it, then I'm just going to keep doing it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the way I see it is it's fun and I know how to do it and it's getting me a lot of exposure. So why not just keep
Yeah, and
doing it?
the main thing is that it's fun. As soon as it's not fun, we'll then move on to something else. But like you're still having so much fun with it. Like you post like 3 times a day, so clearly you're having a good day.
I'm having the most fun ever. And like even the days where I get stressed out, like that's the one thing I'm trying to like come to learn is that like not all my videos are gonna get 100K views, and not all
Yeah.
my videos are gonna like I'm not some days I won't be able to post 3 times a day, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
that needs to be something that I'm okay with because I mean I treat it very much like it started off as something fun, but now as I've seen like the growth so fast, I kind of am treating it more like a job.
Yeah.
But I need to remember where I came from and why I started because
Yeah.
if I'm not having fun with it, then it's pointless. So we'll
Totally.
just see what
With
happens.
the whole acting thing, I was gonna say, like, I remember, weren't you in the Crucible? That like
Yeah,
the local production?
whoa.
That was a really good local production. Like I saw it and I remember actually like I'm pretty sure I cried. It was really good.
Oh, whoa,
Like
that's like the first local production I did, to be
it was
honest. That's
good.
crazy. It was really good. It was really good. It was a lot of fun. We had a super talented cast, which made it super easy to make people cry and whatnot.
Honestly, like I'm not even kidding. Sometimes like SK's voice gets in my head, which is obviously you. But
Yeah.
like sometimes I'll just like hear his reaction to something and it's like I'm like that is so weird. Someone I know's characters in my head. That's so
I just
funny.
live it. Yeah, and like people, it's like on TikTok Live all the time. People like hop in and they'll be like, "Wait, so like that's not how you talk? Like you don't talk like SK?" And it's like, no, but I know how to. Like I can make
Yeah.
it sound believable, but no, it's not me. And like, but so many like I had a buddy text me the other day, and he's like, "Do you ever just get like stuck in SK mode?" And I was like, "Yeah, like all the time. Like my friends will come over and I'll be talking, and they'll be like, 'Okay, why are you talking like that?'" I don't talk to anybody but my tripod, and it's SK that talks to my tripod. So I don't know what to tell you. But
You're
yeah,
like
no, all the time.
you're like possessed by Toronto mans.
Literally, like someone I need to go to church or something. I don't know. Like, holy, it's
Didn't
taking
you
over.
like produce something for someone else's podcast? Like you produced the music or something?
Yeah, so I work with a good buddy of mine, Harry Potvin. He does a podcast called the H Panel. Shout out to them. They were the first podcast to have me on. He does basically mental health talks with a bunch of different people in different areas of work. A lot of athletes, a lot of like people in the arts. And he hit me up. Luckily, he was like looking for someone to do music, and I was like, well, like you know me, dude. Like we can like this can be a good way for me to help you and for you to help me. So I gave him, he has 2 beats that he used, one for season 1 and one for season 2. And yeah, he's an awesome dude. Like, I recommend that podcast to everyone. Very, very down to earth person that loves to just talk about mental health and mental health issues, which obviously I believe is extremely important to talk
Totally.
about.
I think you have like a SoundCloud or something, right?
Something like that. It's not very updated. I did have it very updated before, but then I kind of when I first started making music, I got very excited at the idea that I was making music. So I would just make these beats that I thought were incredible and just post them immediately to my SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And then as I got better at making beats, I would like listen to what I posted on SoundCloud, and it was like, oh, no wonder nobody's hitting me up for beats. Like, my SoundCloud sounds like pots and pans. So I took down all my music. I put it. I think there's like 2 beats up there now, but I pretty much I do that more for fun now. Acting's kind of taking the reins again. Music was like a little bit. For a little while I wasn't acting at all, and I kind of am a person that always needs some sort of creative outlet.
Yeah,
so I just
no, totally.
taught myself how to make beats. There's really, like, I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and just sat in front of my computers for days on end.
That's so
And
cool.
eventually I was like, oh, okay, I'm okay at this. So yeah, I'll still do it every once in a while, and it's when I'm feeling like overwhelmed with acting, then I'll make a beat or 2. But other than that, it's just
I
something to
feel
do.
like you need to make like an SK beat, like him
Oh
rapping
yeah,
over a beat. Have you
that's
done that
actually
already?
there's a new series that we're gonna start called When SK Links You for the Studio Session. And we're gonna do it with a bunch of local rappers too, so we can get a little bit of cross engagement here. But yeah, that's definitely a thing that's in the works, and I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but we're just gonna see. I don't know.
I
I'm down to make a fool out of myself. So
I think it's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited for that.
yeah, I'm hoping to get it started in the next month. Like, hoping lockdown goes our way. Because obviously we can't be in studios and stuff like that right now.
Right.
But,
Oh my God, wait, you were gonna make it like studio quality?
oh yeah, we're going all out.
Damn.
We're going to I'm talking to rappers to like get into their studio sessions and shoot these things. It's not gonna be like little. It's gonna be like, wow, this guy actually went to a studio. He's
Wow.
working with rappers that actually have a following and stuff like that. That are all friends of mine. Like, it's not like I'm just hitting up random people, but it's like I wanna make this legit, because I want to help those people that are working just as hard as me at the same time. Like, if my fan base can transfer over to theirs and vice versa, then it's only right. And if we can have fun doing it, then why not?
Well, no, yeah, if you both have like whatever, what are you at now? Like 13,000 followers or something?
13.1 or something, 13.2,
Yeah.
something
Well,
like
like,
that.
yeah, if you have 13,000 and they have like 5,000 or whatever it is, like, I mean, there you go, 18,000 people looking at you right there. Like, why not join forces? That's awesome.
That's it. Yeah, and like I've always said, like, as much as numbers do help, it's just like more of like a vibe. I want everyone to work with, or everyone that I work with, to kind of be in the same mindset of me, as like, we're all humble. Like, we have to be humble. Like, 13K is a long way from where I started, but a long way from where I want to be.
Yeah.
And 13K doesn't necessarily represent how hard I work or like the person I am. Like, that's just the amount of people watching. So
yeah,
if you have 10 million followers, but you treat people like garbage, then I don't want your
totally.
follower. You know what I mean? And,
well, I mean, I only have you on here because of your followers, so.
Right, exactly. So, and that works perfectly. Oh, that's
no, I'm
funny.
kidding. No, but that's exactly why I want you on here. Like, I feel like that's like that mindset is totally like how I feel. Like, I don't care if like 20 people watch this or one person watches this. Like, I feel like if someone can get something out of it, then like, there you go. And like, I think I saw you do a TikTok where you said, if one person laughs at like, if I make one person's day with my TikTok, then like, that's awesome. And I was like,
exactly,
yeah, totally.
Exactly. Like, I don't know, especially right now, it's like the world is in like shambles. Like, we're all locked in our houses looking for something to do. So like, if I can take the stress of this lockdown and kind of put a smile on one person's face, then it works. But luckily I have the fan base that I can do that to 13,000 people, and that's kind of exactly my motive. It's to make other people's days as good as mine while doing the things I love. That's kind of like the 4L brand. Like, just do things that you love and eventually it'll work out. So
totally. And like, I think that totally shines through. Like, I don't even like, even before you said that, like, I was like, I know that because like, you show that, which is good.
I appreciate that.
I think one of the last times you messaged me a while back was you said thank you for helping you because you were super trashed at a party and I brought you water.
Wow, that was probably it. That was probably it.
We're literally like
Yeah,
asleep
yeah.
on the
Pride
fence.
on a fence.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. We are definitely talking about this. Yeah, that was a humbling moment in my 4L
You went
experience.
to Guelph University and Western?
Yeah, so I went to Western right after high school for a year because I was supposed to play football there.
Right. Yeah.
And then I decided to take the year off of football. And then once I took the year off football, I was just in a random degree that I didn't care for because I really went to Western to play football specifically.
Right.
So I was kind of like, I knew I wanted to be a theater major, but I didn't know I didn't like Western didn't have anything, and like I was at King's University College, so that's like a smaller one.
Yeah.
And they had like you had to be an English major with like a minor in theater text, so it wasn't even like really theater. It was just like I would have been reading plays and stuff like that.
Oh.
But I was like, oh, whatever, I'll play football, so who cares?
Yeah.
So then I took the year off, and once I wasn't playing football, I was like, whoa, what am I doing here?
You're like, this is not for me.
Yeah, this sucked. So then I transferred to Guelph the next year, and then I went there for a year, kind
And
of same experience.
what did you take there?
So I was what's it called? An arts major with a honor studies in theater arts.
Okay,
So
cool.
I did that for a year, and that sucked just as much as Western. So then I just moved. I stayed in Guelph. I lived with some friends, and I just was bartending out there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, so we packed it up, and I can move back home, but not home. I moved into like my own place here.
Right.
So now I'm back in this lovely city.
Yeah.
Doing lovely things.
I don't know if you watched my first episode, but like
I did.
where I said like one of the things I want to talk about with guests is like why like how did you realize that like the path you were on wasn't for you? So like when you were at like university, how did you like realize it wasn't for you? Were you just like I don't fit in here, or like was it something else?
It was kind of like so with my personality, it's like I know essentially, and this is gonna sound like me bragging, but I'm not. I know I can do a pretty good job fitting in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And that being said, I kind of don't have that fear of like doing new stuff because I just like kind of am comforted at the idea that wherever I go, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I was just going to classes, and I was like, well, if I was going to classes, I was like just sitting there, and then I'd like the prof would be like, okay, that's it for today, and I would like know nothing. Like I would just be like as knowledgeable as the kid that walked in at the beginning of class.
Yeah.
And I was doing that for 2 years, each 1 year at Western and 1 year at Guelph, and like my grades never really showed that I wasn't into it. Like I was always like doing like relatively okay in classes, but it was like I would sit in class and I'd be like, I'm sitting in a class learning about actors from the 1700s.
Yeah.
And I'm not acting at all. Like I'm humble to the fact that it's important to know where things came from. Like I know, like especially like you should know about Shakespeare because he's like this awesome playwright, but no, Shakespeare's not alive anymore. Like and as bad as
like
that sounds, like I don't know. Like I'm not gonna go to Shakespearean plays. Like I don't want to be in Shakespeare stuff. So
yeah.
what am I learning about this for? And I was watching a lot of my other friends, like with the time that they had where they weren't in school, they were like auditioning for plays, and they were getting these roles, and they were adding to their theater resume. They were doing whatever they want, and I was like, what am I in school for if I can't because I think at Guelph you're not on stage until year 4.
Ew,
So,
that seems silly.
Right. But that at the same time, that's the difference between going to a university and going to a college. So like a college, they'll get you on right away. Like you'll start doing plays. And so as far as I know, I'm no expert, but I went to university, so like they want you to know like all the little stuff. And
it's like theory versus hands-on sort of, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And I just at that point I'd been in school for 2 years. That like the concept of going to college, not that I don't think college is great. It was just like I'm done with schooling in general.
Well, and you'd already like thrown a bunch of money down the toilet.
right. Like I was like, what am I like? I'm 20 grand in the hole already. Like I don't need to keep doing this to myself. And like if it's not gonna work. So I was like, okay, so let's just start like let's take it from square one.
Yeah.
Let's revamp, and we just started doing like local theater. And I'd already done the Crucible, which is funny you brought that up.
Yeah.
So I was always, even at Guelph, I was in, like between classes. I think I had class every day, and then 4 times a week I was coming home to do rehearsals for other shows.
Oh, cool.
Um, so yeah, essentially they were working around my schedule, and then I was like, "Yo, listen, like if you guys are serious about this, like I'm dropping out of school next year, and like I'm down to be your guy. Like we can do whatever shows you want, and I won't be able to like, or I won't be missing rehearsals. Like I'll just be here."
Yeah.
And yeah, things just started being taken more serious in that regard, and then I was like, okay, this is it. And like, as much as I hate being in debt, it's like you need to experience things you don't like to know you don't like them, and to know you don't work for them, or they don't
Totally.
work for you.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for my 2 years at university. Like I met some of
Yeah.
my best friends, and like I needed to do that so I can't look back later and be like, well, what if I went to university?
Exactly. I'd like way rather regret something than say, oh, I never tried, and like you don't know if it was good or bad. Like, what if you'd never gone and then you were like, oh, like I could have learned so much more in university and I could have gotten all these roles, but like now you know that's not what
It's
that's
not.
not
It
what's
isn't.
for
It
you.
isn't what worked
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm super like I'll take it as like years of learning about myself over years about learning what I
Totally.
love. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's almost like what university is for most people. Like it's like seeing what's out there, and I honestly don't even know if I remember that much from university. It was more just like seeing what the other options are in the world, meeting some people, paying a bunch of money,
Paying a
and
bunch of
there you
money.
go.
And like, yeah, it's important. Like, you gotta like. I always think like it's good to like boil down. Like, especially like I was going in, I was like, I want to be an actor, and then I sat through all these acting courses I didn't care about, and then like I know it kind of like boiled me down to know exactly what I want. Like, a lot
Yeah.
of people will go into that acting degree, like they want to do something in theater, and they don't know what they want from it, and then by the end of it, they're like, okay, I want to be like a tech director, or I want to be something like that.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, okay, I want to act, so I'm gonna go act. I'm not gonna wait around to figure it. Like
Yeah.
I figured it out a lot faster than a lot of people, and that's all it was. It's just like a waiting thing. The second you know exactly what you want from university, you either pursue it through university or you pursue it how you want to. So that's exactly what I did.
Totally.
And one thing turned to
Um
another, and here we are.
so do you want to be like a stage actor, or do you want to be a movie actor, or both? Anything?
I just want to have, I don't know. I have this I don't know if it's irrational, but I have a fear of working a 9 to 5. Um, and I don't think there's anything wrong with a 9 to 5 if that's like how your career path works.
Yeah.
I just like you would know better than most people watching that like even in high school, like assemblies, that was me, and like I was just a face of the high school, and like that's
Totally.
I always want to be that, like, and I always want to be that person that people can come and talk to, and like people are like, oh, this is this guy, and have good things to say about me, and like I want to build a platform for a person that is very like a lot more human than most celebrities, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Like I want to be just like a face where people are like, yeah, that guy brings me comfort when I listen to him talk, or like that guy is just like someone that makes me laugh when I feel bad, or like so acting is just kind of what's giving me that platform.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go with whatever comes of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if it has to be like on stage, I don't love on stage,
Okay.
just because there's a lot of like weird politics stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and that
Yeah, I've only been in like 2 plays and I already know that.
like I don't know. I have a lot of trouble. So the big thing about like the theater world is that it all is based on like looks, as much as people will tell you otherwise. Like it's all based on looks. Um,
Yeah.
when you're being casted, you could be the best actor in the world, but if the director has a different image of the main character that you don't fit, then it doesn't matter.
Right. Like imagine, this is a dumb example, but like imagine it's like Harry Potter on stage and you're like the best at acting Harry Potter. Well, you're still not gonna get like
Yeah, I'm not Daniel
you're not gonna
Radcliffe. Like,
you're gonna get cast as like I don't know, Dumbledore or something
but
instead of Harry
yeah,
Potter.
the ogre that he fights in the washroom. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, so like I
Which
kind of had some.
sucks, but
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
But
But
it's
it's
true, yeah.
it's kind of ugly in that regard that
Well, it's
like you
like, what
could.
if I want to play Hagrid? I can't.
Yeah, you can't exactly, and you could be the best Hagrid. Who
Right?
knows? Like you've worked your whole life to be a Hagrid, and someone's gonna take that from you. Like that's not right. So yeah, I kind of had some issues with that, and like especially coming from a football background, like I'm used to being able to compete for like high roles. Like if you are the best at your position, it doesn't matter anything else. Like you will get that job,
Yeah.
and that's how the sports world works, and that's how most things work. So for you
Yeah.
to like work your tail off just to be told like, yeah, you could do it, but you don't really look like that character. It's like,
Right? Which is like
what
the
am I working
stupid.
for?
It's like I've worked so hard and I'm perfect for it in every other way except for one way I can't control. That's like such bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And like
Yeah.
that's kind of how life works too. Like, and that's kind of why I have my face pierced and like I'm tatted up. Like it's like I don't want people to look at me and be like, okay, you don't fit this. It's like, well, what do I fit then? Like
Yeah.
I look a certain way. It doesn't mean anything to do with the abilities I have or the person I am. It's just how I choose to look. You know what I mean? So
Totally.
I hate that life works that way.
Yeah.
And theater is just very much like that as well.
Yeah, I like relate to that on like a weird like opposite level where like with like what we were talking about earlier where like you look older than you are and I look younger than I am. I feel like I have the same issue where like people don't take me seriously because of what I look like and I'm like, but what I know more than you and I look
What do you want from me?
like what am I supposed to suddenly grow to be 5'6" and look older? Like I can't change that.
Yeah,
Like
no, this is what I'm working with.
like
Take it
yeah,
or leave
exactly.
it.
This is what I'm working with. Like
Yeah,
what do you want me to change? I don't know. Yeah.
it's stupid. It's no,
It's
but I feel you exactly. I feel
yeah.
you exactly.
I guess when you mentioned your tattoos, like when did you get all those? Or did you like design them yourself or what happened with that?
So, I got my first tattoo when I was 18. I got a tattoo done on my back. It's like the comedy and tragedy masks. I have those
Yeah.
done on my back. And then when I moved to Guelph, a good friend of mine, Spencer Lynch, he went to our high school. So he ended up getting a tattoo spot or like a placement out in Guelph. And I
Oh
was just
wait, I follow him. I follow him.
Spencer
I
Lynch art.
yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he got a spot out in Guelph, and I was just working. And I love Alice in Wonderland. Like it's one of my favorite things
Wait, were
ever.
you in that high school production too?
I was in university.
Oh, that was
I
such a
was a
good
year
show.
late. Yeah, Sadie killed that.
He was
Holy,
so good as Alice. Yeah,
Sadie
it was so
killed
good.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have this weird obsession. Like you can see the Cheshire cats, like right here
Yeah.
on my
I've been
wall.
looking at
Yeah, it's a little
it.
creepy, but whatever. It watches me sleep. But yeah, so I just kind of had a few ideas that I wanted done, and Spencer was like, "Yeah, well, I just started tattooing right around the block from you." So I got like one or two done by him, and then it was like,
It
then
was
it
like
was
the door
bad.
was unlocked. You were like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, here we go.
yeah, and it got to the point where it'd be like I'd wake up in the morning, and be like, what am I gonna do today? And I'd literally go on Instagram to see if he had openings. I'd be like, all right, guys, going to get a tattoo done. Like, I'll be back. And then I
Yeah.
did that for 2 years, and now my sleeve's done. So we're gonna keep going.
Oh, yeah, like I think I have like 6 tattoos right now. And like it's like a weird thing of like showing yourself without saying anything, which like it's different than clothing though. Like clothing shows
Mhm.
who you are, but tattoos are like it's like a confident thing of like this is what I wanted and you can't tell me I didn't because now
And
it's
there's
permanent.
and there's nothing I can do to hide it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is. And it's like
Yeah.
that's kind of how I see it too. It's like you can kind of figure out that I'm an artsy fartsy kind of dude when you just look at my arm, and
Yeah.
then my favorite thing to do is like when people be like, oh, well, what's that mean? And I'm one of those people that like I need a meaning behind all my tattoos, which I don't think is necessary. And
Yeah, I mean me too.
I'm gonna get tattoos that have no meaning. Like I have a whole. I want to do my left leg and all dinosaurs. Like I don't know why, but I think it's awesome. Dinosaurs doing random things like riding scooters and stuff. I don't
Oh
know.
my God, I love that.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like a funny thing because why not?
I know a guy who has a tattoo that's literally just a flamingo playing bingo, and it's literally just because it rhymes.
That's beautiful. My one of my good friends has a tattoo of a Corona bottle on him, and instead of the Corona label, it's has a number 7 on it, and that's because number 7 is the aisle for beer at the Hesper Road Walmart.
That is so random.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Like,
that so much.
that's it. I don't know. Like, if it brings you joy, like you should get a tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my tattoos I got like completely blackout drunk randomly on the way to a restaurant and I was like I was like, we're going out for dinner. And then I saw a tattoo parlor in Toronto and I just was like, I'm gonna get a tattoo right now. Like, you know how there's the form that says like, have you been drinking? Have you whatever? And like
Yeah.
I circled yes for the drinking and he was like, well, you're standing, so like I'm gonna give it to you. I was like, but like I know for a fact I was like close to blackout drunk. Like I barely remember.
Hey, as long as you like the tattoo, who cares?
I mean, I don't love it.
It's a story. It's a story.
Okay, let's go to a lighter question. What's your favorite snack?
Oh,
Like if you were walking and your jacket has a big pouch for snacks,
yeah.
what is in the pouch?
What's in it? Oh, that's such a good question. Honestly, I'm like weirdly obsessed, like weirdly, like strangely obsessed with just like mushrooms, like just like with French onion dip. Like if I had
Ew!
two pockets, if I had a pocket with raw mushrooms in it and then onion dip in the other, you would never hear a complaint from
That
me
was
ever in
not
the
at
world.
all what I was expecting.
I
So
know, but you can all my if any of my TikTok followers are watching this, they can vouch. Like I don't hop on a stream without both. Like I need them. Like I'm literally going to the store 3 times a week and getting mushrooms. It brings me
imagine
joy.
putting your hand into a pocket of French onion dip.
I'd be down. I'd be down. I'm
You
not
just
even
lick the
against it.
hand.
Yeah, just mushroom and then the hand. Yeah.
Do you have any movies or shows that like inspire your acting or anything like that? Or like, yeah.
That's awesome. I have the attention span of a squirrel. So I actually am not very good at watching TV or movies unless like I'm very, very bought into it.
True.
So like I like horror movies a lot because they keep me on edge, and like that's like an extra, like other than just the movie itself being on, it's like okay, I'm actually scared. Like I don't want to walk to the washroom because I could get attacked. Like that's what I'm into. So like I like really like mind bending things. Like I don't know if like 1408 is probably one of
Yes.
my
Oh my
favorite
God. I
movies.
was just going to say that when you said mind bending, I was like 1408. Literally.
Yeah,
1408
1408's
is one of
dope.
those that fucks with you.
Oh, bad,
Like at the
bad.
end, you're literally like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, he's out. He's out. He made it out, and then they start hitting the walls, and he's still in the hotel room,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Oh,
"Oh, get
yeah.
out of there!"
That's one of my
Um,
favorites too, for sure.
yeah, no. So I really like movies like that. That's kind of why I like Alice in Wonderland too, because it's kind of like crazy and all over the place.
Yeah.
I really like Coraline. Coraline's one of my favorite
Yes.
movies as well. I watch that like a few times a week. I
Kind
just
of
like
like
things.
alternate reality things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. And like and like they need to be a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
Like Nightmare Before Christmas. I
So like
love.
Tim Burton stuff.
Yeah, like he's got Tim Burton has my whole the dinosaurs are going on one leg and Tim Burton stuff's going on the other. So
Yes. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you already liked Tim Burton at this time, but like I went to a Tim Burton exhibition in Toronto like a couple
I
years
do know
ago.
about that.
Did you go to that?
I didn't go, but I knew
Oh,
it was there. Was it awesome?
it was awesome. Like I
That
think
would be my dream.
you should like if it comes back, definitely go because it
I'll
was
be there.
really, really, really cool.
I'll be there. Yeah, I love all of his like characters that he creates, like Edward Scissorhands, like even down to the stuff that's not animated. Like I think he's just got a brilliant mind.
Yeah.
And that's what I need. Like I need people that just have brains that don't think in like regular ways, as weird as that sounds. Like here's this kid that has scissors for hands and stuff like that. Like I like stuff that's just like so out of this world that it intrigues me. So anything that inspires my acting. Not really.
Well, maybe nobody does. Maybe just Toronto mans do.
Yeah, literally, like there's a group called L'Oreal Entertainment. They're from Brampton, but they're incredible. They inspire a lot of my Toronto work. What inspires me is just to do things that other people aren't doing. So like I like for example, like one of my characters that does pretty well is like this emotional Toronto man,
Yeah.
and he just cries about everything, and people are like, well, why does that inspire? Why are you so inspired to keep making music? It's like because everyone that's a Toronto man thinks they're so hard. Like I bet something makes him cry. But like when this guy, I bet when he gets dumped by his girl, he cries, but he's got to put on a face like he's tough to the homies. Like that's
Yeah.
like I want to act in ways that people are like, that's true. Like there's something you can learn from it. You know,
Yeah.
the one performance that inspired me was Joaquin Phoenix and Joker. because he
Yes.
makes you care about Joker so much that you don't even feel bad for the people he kills. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of how I want people to feel when I act. It's like, yeah, like this guy's this big Toronto man, but like, and he's funny, but like the stuff he's saying, like, generally breaks my heart, and I feel so
Oh.
bad for him. But it's like, it's just making that like people care for you
Yeah.
in that aspect. So, I think I also inspire myself a lot. I'm very much a person that always wants to do better than what I did the night before. That's why I know this TikTok thing will never have an ending because will always believe my best work's yet to come. Um, and that inspires me to keep going and to get better as an actor. So
Being inspired by yourself. I haven't really like thought of it that way. But yeah, the best thing to compare yourself is your best self. And like it's so true. Like there just keep getting better version of yourself. It doesn't matter if you're better than your neighbor. Like you want to be better than you were yesterday, which is
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Like and like it's not there shouldn't be a competition with anyone else because everybody else has done different things in their life to get to the point they're at.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just anytime I make something, I'm like, okay, that was cool, but what can I do that's better than this?
Yeah.
And I think that's a mindset that a lot of creatives have. And I think it kind of backfires on us a lot because
Yeah.
we expect all of our work to be as good, if not better, than the last best thing we did.
Yeah.
And that's when numbers come into play, and numbers are the worst thing to look
It's
at.
like any creative that tries to start a business and like their sales are not good. And it's like, but why? My like this bag that I made is so much better than the last bag I made. But it's like, but I've only sold 2 and the last one sold 20. And it's like, but
How did
why?
you
And then
get?
you cry.
Yep, exactly, exactly. Like the amount of times where I'm about to post a video, I'm like, oh, this one's gonna splash, and then it does like worse than my video that I made in 20 seconds. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, but you know what? Like, it's all a process of just showing yourself what you're capable of. And if you can have your hopes up about something do well, and then it does poorly, and you can keep going, that's like a huge mental
Right?
barrier to get past.
Like you still want to show people who you really are. And like I feel like that is so true. Like even if you like your TikTok totally like does not land and like 10 people watch it, but like then you make another 3 videos the next day and maybe one of them does better and the other 2 don't. Well, like whatever, but you keep doing it. And
Exactly.
I think that's the big thing. Yeah, totally.
Putting yourself out there consistently.
So other than like TikTok and acting and music, do you have any other things you kind of have on the side or
Like I'm a big collector of vintage fashion. I like that. That's why I have this crazy wolf sweater
Yeah,
on.
I love it.
I also had put this chalkboard here because, like, as much as like it's kind of like a thing where it's like maybe some days I feel burnt out from acting and making music. Like, why don't you just do a little doodle on the wall? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
None of these that you can see are mine. Like, that's way too good to be mine. Um, but yeah, it's just like I just like having little things. And like one thing I always remind myself is that like if you don't create something that's in your mind, it'll never exist to the world. Like
Yeah,
my brain and everyone else's brain, everyone in this world thinks in a different way and sees things in different ways. So it's like if you don't create what you have in your mind, then that thing will never be created. So
totally.
if I can wake up and do a stupid doodle on the wall that I think is hilarious, then like that
Yeah.
works because like
And
that's
it like
something that didn't
existed.
exist. There you
Yeah.
go. That
Yeah.
didn't exist before I did it. Or if I can make a beat, that didn't exist before I made it. And if I didn't make it, nobody else would have made it the exact same way. So
Yeah.
I love shopping vintage. I love doing little doodles. I haven't doodled in a long time. It's because I'm driving myself up a wall trying to film TikToks. But yeah, when my friends are here, it's like I put on little characters without even really thinking about it. It's just like that's my personality is like I feel other people's energy so fast and I'm like I want to contrast it or I want to match that like
Yeah.
every time you see Jordie, it's gonna be oh I just golden rule. I just dropped my name. Holy.
I don't know if you're comfortable talking about mental health and stuff, but since you're on the H
Absolutely.
panel, I imagine you are.
Yep.
I was gonna say like being different characters or anything, do you feel like that helps your mental health or does it make it worse or weird or like what is that like? Because I feel like a lot of actors like might change to a different character to feel better, maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know, is that how you feel or no?
Um, I think I use my characters as ways to like be more open without having to say it myself.
Yeah.
Um, like this emotional Toronto man character that I'm talking about again, it's like I might not be that overtly emotional as that character, but like that's my way of being like, yeah, sometimes things don't go my way, and sometimes I do get down on myself. And like I think all of my characters very much encompass myself and my mental health or whatever. Like SK is this guy that's like, yeah, like fuck everybody, like I'm gonna get my money and like I don't care what I have to do to get it. And then the emotional Toronto man's like, yeah, but the world beats me up sometimes and like stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's like a comforting way for me to release a lot of the things I feel without having to be like, hey, my name's 4L and I get really depressed sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's
it's like
stuff
you
like
get to
that.
express like parts of yourself without it being you. It's like,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
that's
On
cool.
your worst day, like on my bad days, I can be like, I can make this super sad emotional Toronto man video
Yeah.
that it's gonna make people laugh. So it's gonna make me feel good, but at the same time, it's like good thing I got this off my chest
Yeah,
because
because
it was eating at
you
me.
get to be like real without being real, which is
Without
nice.
being real.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. That's the first time I've ever been asked that question. I'm super excited you asked it. So yeah, fully agree with you. Yeah, that definitely my characters are like coping mechanisms almost. And it's
Yeah.
it's like depending the day, you're gonna get a different character.
I feel like a lot of people are like that, whether they're actors or not, though. Like, I'm not an actor, but I feel like I do that too, to a
Hmm.
point. You know what I mean? Where
Hmm.
like you're getting this version of me, but like there's obviously different versions of me where like I mentioned in my first episode, like I have panic attacks, and like you've obviously never seen that version of me, but like
Never.
that is a very different version of me. And
Yeah.
like you know, and like I think everyone does have different versions of themselves, and like you said, having characters to express that in a way that you're comfortable doing, I think that's almost like really weirdly healthy.
Yeah, I think it's really healthy too. And like even if it's not healthy, it works. So I'm gonna keep
Yeah, it
doing
works
it.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot healthier than a lot of other coping mechanisms that exist in the world. So that's just
Yeah,
like
I mean,
nobody. I think like the hardest people in the world are the people that are like so tough, have just become so emotionally numb
yeah.
that like they only know how to feel numb and like they just won't let their emotions come through.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think like obviously that's like very unhealthy. I just want people to be like, oh yeah, I'm allowed to feel not as normal, or I don't need to be this happy go lucky person all the time. And like
Yeah.
maybe this emotional Toronto man character like helps them see that. Like,
Yeah, like maybe
okay.
some like actual emotional trauma man's like, oh, there's another one of me out there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, like my heart can get broken. It's okay because Ralph does
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah, no,
Aw.
I do agree with that.
I love that like you never even like lived in Toronto at all.
I did. I did. I did. I
You
did. I
did?
did. When I was 6.
When you were 6.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. From the
So when
ages
you
like 2 to 6, I lived there.
you were a bartender and now like just you're kind of hanging out and creating videos.
Yeah, so I still do. Well, like obviously COVID said haha to me, but I was working at a brewery local. Um, but yeah, now I'm just a full-time TikToker, which is so weird and horrible to say. So when theaters closed, I was kind of like in a weird spot where I was like, okay, what do I do now? Like that was the gig for so long. Like,
Yeah.
what do I do now? I still like I write here and there. So like I'm working on this long play that I've been working on forever. It's
What?
only
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Nobody knows that
Can
one.
you
Well,
tell us a little tiny bit about
yeah,
what
you
it's
can get
about?
a little window.
Okay.
So it's called photophobia, and essentially photophobia is the excessive fear of lights. I don't know if I can roll my sweater up far enough. Oh, I might be able to. I might. I've got this little light bulb tattoo here for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So essentially it's about this kid who gets adopted and he's just like very strange. Like he is always wearing like a winter coat, like SK. And he's like always in glasses and he has this really like strange fear of lights. Like and nobody really knows. So the whole play follows Josiah, who's the kid, and his family and the group therapy sessions they have to try to get Josiah out of this weird mindset. And throughout the play, you figure out like why Josiah is afraid of light. And
Yeah.
eventually, it gets a little crazy. It kind of runs out like I came out. People are gonna be like, "Oh, it's a Joker." It kind of it runs that similar like you feel bad for this kid and you love him so much that like you feel like the world has turned him into this monster kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so essentially, it just like runs Josiah's story while the family learns to become a family with a person that is not like a typical child.
Right.
And I kind of want to challenge the idea of like nuclear family or whatever, where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
the
like the
perfect
mom,
family.
dad, one son, one girl, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Like I hate that concept. So like
Yeah.
I want it to be very eye opening to people that like the idea of a nuclear family can be very toxic to a child. Like
Totally.
you can't expect your kid to be perfect, and there's gonna be,
Yeah.
especially through adoption. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
people get into adoption and they hope for something. It's like you can't. This is a person that has come from a completely different lifestyle that you're gonna bring into your own world. So you guys gotta work through things, and you gotta figure out why they work the way they do and make them work within your household. So yeah, that's happening
So,
eventually.
how
No,
did
go
you
ahead.
come up with like that character? Like,
Um,
or do you know someone who's like fostered or something, or like is it just
oh,
someone you feel bad for in your head?
um, I think it happened. It's just very weird. Um, so I was very high one night,
Yeah.
and I came home and I went in my basement because that's where I used to write. And I was just like, I was coming down the stairs, and I was like, oh, need to turn the light on. And I was like, I'm not even afraid of the dark, but I was like, I need to turn this light on for comfort. And I was like, what if somebody had the opposite? You know what I mean? Like, what if
Yeah.
darkness was like, if someone saw a light and they're like, that needs to turn off. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of what I want to see. Like, sometimes lights are good, but like, if there's a monster in the dark, turning the lights on is what's going to make you see the monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of the idea I ran with. And it was really weird. It was like 3 in the morning, and then I stayed
No,
up all
I
night.
love that. I feel like the weirdest ideas come like that.
I have a bunch of other plays that I've started writing that I didn't love because we had that the one acts in high school where
Yeah.
you would write a play and then some of them would be produced. So mine luckily was produced when I was in grade 12.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I kind of stuck with writing, and I wrote like a few little things that never. I'm one of those people that starts a project and then never finishes it.
Same.
The photophobia was the one that I just kept coming back to. Like photophobia was, I was like, oh, like maybe I'm onto something with this one.
Yeah.
And like I've been working on it for 6 years, not consistently. Like when I feel inspired to write about it, like or to add to it, then I do. So we just made it to intermission. Like just made it to intermission in the play, and I have Miss Wilson. She's doing edits on it right now.
What? So you have like
Cause
a
like
whole like an actual team like kind of working on it.
yeah.
Cool.
I want to like, cause like eventually I want to sell it. Eventually I do, cause I think the concept's really cool, and I don't think anybody's ever done anything like I plan to. So
Yeah. That's so
hopefully we
cool.
can make it come together. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So
Would you want to be in the play or no?
no, I don't think so. Just because I have such an artistic vision on how I want it to look, that I don't want to be looking at it from the inside out. I want to be looking at it from the outside in.
Yeah.
Just so I can look at minor details and not have to worry about like if I'm doing something right. It's more like being
Right.
able to tell other people what they're doing
You
right.
get to kind of be the director, not like you don't have to be part of it also. Yeah, true. That makes sense.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And like I that's just a good way for me to get my feet into the production side of things as well. Because
Cool.
I at this point, like I know how to act, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about directing, and I think I do a decent job. So like we'll see eventually once theaters open, because I do want to do it on stage. Just because I don't think there's a lot of like scary, and it's not necessarily like a scary thing, like a scary play,
But sort of
but
like psychological or something,
like
no?
eerie. It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
like creepy. Just like the
Yeah.
whole. It's a lot of not knowing what's happening because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, why is this kid wearing like snow pants and a jacket inside? Like it's like it's one of those things. It's unsettling. So
It's kind of
I
like
will.
somehow I'm picturing like Kenny from South Park.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Where it's just like, why are you like this? And I think a lot of I have a big issue with the theater's lack of being able to turn modern. The generation that's really holding down theater and keeping theater a thing are older generations.
Yeah.
So like those are the people that want to see like, oh yeah, like we saw Midsummer Night's Dream for the 15th time by a different, and it's like, well, like there's probably some cool ideas by these younger kids. That's another thing where I'm like, that's what I want to use my platform for. Like once I've established myself as a name, I want to be like, hey, yeah, this is my thing, and I'm putting on a production of a modern play. Like this is
Yeah,
very
that's
much
super
the
cool.
thing. So
It's not really related to that, but kind of. Have you seen that on TikTok? They're doing like Ratatouille the musical.
yeah, that's weird.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, some things we just don't need to bring to theater. Like Shrek, I don't think we ever needed in
Oh
theater
my
either.
God, but have you watched Shrek the musical?
No, I heard it's good.
It's so bad.
Oh, it's bad?
No, it's good bad. Like it's bad good.
Yeah.
It's that really terrible thing that it's like watching a car crash. Like you don't want to watch it, but you
But you
want to
have
watch
to.
it.
You have to. Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Like
okay, then I
if
have to
you're
watch
ever
it.
like smoking or drinking, watch Shrek the musical.
Okay.
Your brain will go like
I just think
Yeah.
there needs to be like brand new ideas brought to
Yeah.
the theater. Like not even just like remasters or just like a musical spinoff. Like
yeah.
let's just get some ideas that nobody's ever seen before and put them in the theater. Because
Yeah.
then that's when the younger kids are gonna start caring about going to the theater again. Like then nobody cares about there. I don't care. And I know a lot of people, like a lot of my good friends haven't seen me act, and then why is that? Because like the theater is just not for them, and that makes sense. Like I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
But if there was more plays that were like appealing
New and modern and like actually set in our time
it's
and
really like it's not that like hard of a concept to grasp. Like we
Yeah.
just need to make things cool. Like
yeah.
that's it.
And theater brings such a different feeling than going to the movies. Like I love going to the theater for a very different reason than why I love going to the movies. And I feel like some kids like never got to experience that because their parents never took them to the theater. But
Yeah.
like I want that for them.
Yeah, like I think it's crazy to literally be like immersed in the story rather than like I feel like at a theater there's always like regardless how good the movie is, there's always that screen there. You know what I mean? And like when the screen is just a stage and you could the actors if you're sitting on the front row you're gonna get spat on. Like
Yeah.
it is like it's totally immersive
Cool.
because there's like we
Totally.
always talk about like the fourth wall and like when you learn about acting you talk about like the fourth wall and it's
Yeah.
like the idea of like no matter how close you are like there's like a space between you and the actors.
Yeah.
And when you put someone in the audience, it's like, oh, where is the fourth wall, right? Like
Yeah.
now I'm literally in this play.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you can't do that on the movie theater. And
No,
not to
you
discredit film. Film is incredible. Like it's
Yeah.
beautiful, but
it's different. It's not the same. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I just think it needs to be reborn and just bred into the younger. Like I think how cool would it be if like the kids that we have or like our generation have like if they're reading plays in high school that people our age wrote like
Totally. Rather
not
than
dated text
1400s, it's from the 2020s. Yeah.
yeah like
Yeah.
and we just need a person to do it so I guess
You're gonna be that person.
I guess that's me so that's
I think that's so cool.
yeah I want things to change and I want to be a part of it so that's
Well, you're
that's the
already
matter.
part of it.
That's it exactly I just gotta
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Yeah, keep doing it. I'm so happy you came on today. Like
I'm so happy you had me with
I feel
that,
like I would love to just chat off camera whenever you want to.
I'm down. Whenever we're allowed to go out to public spaces, let's go grab a coffee.
I mean,
Or what-
I've been drinking beer this whole time, so
I'm drinking water and energy drinks because right after this, I have to go on a Twitch stream for 2 hours, and then right after that, I have to go on a TikTok stream for 2 hours. So
Oh my God.
my night's just getting started.
Is it have to like you made yourself have to or
Yeah.
Wow.
I made myself have to, but it's like I don't know. I'm one of those people that like I need routine, right?
Yeah.
And the second I break routine, like things just go to hell. So
Wow.
I've just started this new gaming stream on Twitch and we're at like 85 followers in 3 days.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool and that's fun, that's exciting. For whatever reason, TikTok live streaming like helps push your content a lot. Like
Yeah, well, like I get a notification every time you're live streaming. So
oh, that's super crazy. I didn't know that.
yeah, like every single time it says like Pharrell is live, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
Here it goes again. Yeah. So I just try to do that for 2 hours every night, just
What-
as like a.
What do you talk about on there?
whatever. Like that's the thing. Like it's not. It's a very
Weird
and
thing.
sometimes
Like,
I don't even really be saying anything. Like I'll just be the nice thing about TikTok versus Twitch is Twitch. They don't have a they have like music policies where like
Mhm.
if you don't own the rights to the music, you can't
Oh,
play it.
right.
TikTok has those too, but for whatever reason, they're like way less of
Yeah.
a thing. So like I can just play music and just kind of do what I do, and like I literally just watch like all WWE clips because I'm a loser, the whole time. And then I just whoever's in there wants to chat, I chat with them. And usually there's like 30 people in there at a time, so it's like
That's
I
so
don't know.
fun. It's like you have like a weird chat room of your fans just sitting there.
It's so weird. But the thing is too, like I get it because like we're in a time where you can't
Yeah.
talk to your friends. You know what I mean? You can't really go and see like you can't go in and meet these people that you want to meet. So like the
Yeah.
closest you can get to them is a live stream. So
Totally.
so and luckily like I've built a community of like people look forward to being in my lives because they're gonna talk to that same person that was there last night kind of thing.
Yeah, that's so cute. It's like I don't know, it's like meeting in a cafe all together. That's so cute.
Right. It's like a
Yeah.
little community in itself. So yeah,
Yeah.
I branded it as like the fortress. That's what we call it. And yeah, we're gonna turn that into a clothing line soon enough.
Really? That's
Yeah,
cool. Are you designing
yeah,
it or do you have someone?
yeah.
Cool.
Well, like, yeah, I'm designing it. I'm paying people for like the art that's going on it, but other
Cool.
than that, like it'll be all for a production kind of thing.
That's so
Um,
cool.
yeah, like the people are asking for it at this point. Like, yo, we need clothes, we need clothes. So I was
Oh,
like, okay.
people are literally going to be repping you. That
Yeah,
is
it's
so
really
cool.
weird. It's so weird, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
so
super
cool.
weird. Like, why do people care? But yeah, I'm not gonna,
Well,
I'm
that's
not
the
gonna
thing.
ask
It's
them.
like everyone is looking for a connection somewhere, and if they find
Right.
that with you, then like, well, cool.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna run with it. And like, I don't know, like I said to you at the beginning, like I never want people to feel like I'm a celebrity. Like I want people to be like, this is just like a normal dude that's doing his thing and like
Yeah.
is very open. Like I've had like heart to hearts with people on TikTok Live because like they
Aw.
don't have anyone to talk to about it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about it. Like I don't care. Yeah, so shirts, sweaters, crew necks, and toques will be like kind of wave one. And then my plan is running with the name Fortress. I want to keep paying different artists to like design characters of the fortress.
Cool.
So then like in every wave it'll be like a new set of characters.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is just crazy stuff that I think of. I don't. But luckily Spencer Lynch is the guy who can make it come to life because I
Oh,
couldn't
he's drawing
myself.
a lot of your designs too.
He's gonna do the main one.
Cool.
He's my guy when it comes to artsy stuff, and I love supporting him because we went to
You
high
should
school
maybe
together.
get his design of the fortress tattooed.
That's the plan. There's a spot right back here
Oh,
that's
you got
gonna
the real
go.
estate.
Yeah, exactly. That's the last spot I have, so I gotta give it to something important. So yeah, is gonna be my way of advertising myself to other people, and people are down to wear it. Then it just
Yeah, and like you said, people are asking for it, so like why
like
not?
weirdly, like it's like people are literally like, yo, like have you bought shirts yet? And it's like, I don't have a job right now, dude. Like I TikTok for a living. I don't know if you know that. Like, but yeah, it'll come together soon enough. And like it's good to know that like when it does come together, that there's people right there waiting to buy it. So
That's so cool. I mean, that's a way better position to be in than that you've already bought shirts and no one wants them.
right. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's really the plan moving forward. And maybe we can do another podcast a year from now and you'll hear some
Yeah,
cool stuff.
I would
Some
love to have people on more than one, like a picture in time. And
like
like
before
this
and
might be
afters.
completely different than, yeah, a year from now.
Absolutely. Like I don't know if you've seen it, but like Billie Eilish does like the same interview every
Yes, yeah,
year.
yeah,
That's so sick. Like I think that's so cool. I'm down. I'm down. I'm your
yeah.
guy. I'm your guy. I'm your guy. So yeah. But
Um,
thank you once again for having me. Holy,
yeah, thank you for being my first ever guest and making it not scary.
I'm honored. I'm honored. And like don't let anyone bully you. This is your show. So
Where can my guests find you? Like, where can you find yourself?
so I am on Instagram at 4L with 3 L's and one underscore. I and everywhere you can find me under that name. Yeah, a Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Visco, Twitch. PayPal. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you can find me all there under 4L. Yeah, 4RELLL_. There you go for the people on
Wait,
Spotify.
there we go. Good.
And by the way, adorable. Love the theme song.
I literally wrote it in 2 seconds because I couldn't find royalty-free music.
It's hard. It's hard, but hey, you know what? That just shows that like, yeah, you're just a person that creates too. So I think that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you so much for being on here, Jordie.
thank you so
Or
much.
Pharrell.
Disclaimer to any TikTokers watching, any of my fans from TikTok watching. This lovely lady here knows me personally, so I don't mind her saying my name. We went to high school together. She helped me off a fence when I was dying. Please refer to me as 4L if you don't know me personally. But yes, I am Jordie, and thank you again for having me. This was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
Yay. Well, thank you so much, and have a good stream on Twitch and TikTok.
Woo, here I go. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, bye.
Make sure to follow on Instagram and TikTok at heyhiwhoareyou.pod to stay up to date on new guests and new episodes.